would love to welcome you to the podcast. Ruth, how are you doing, Ruth? And please do tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Well, hello, Rosie. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be in your podcast. Um, my name is Ruth. I'm 36 years old, living in the Netherlands, really small town in the middle of the Netherlands. And well, I'm a singer, songwriter, vocal coach. So that's in short who I am. As a songwriter, I started a couple of years ago, and I just, well, love to tell my story through music. And I write symphonic and gothic metal mainly, but also just little piano pieces with my piano and voice. Yeah.
Ruth, what's it like in a small town in the Netherlands writing symphonic and gothic metal? Are there many other songwriters like you around?
No, absolutely not. I think I'm the only one in my town. But in the Netherlands as well, there aren't that many bands who write symphonic or gothic metal. However, almost all symphonic metal bands have a Dutch vocalist. So yeah, yeah.
Wow. What do you think it is about Dutch vocalists in that genre?
I'm not sure. Something in the water, maybe. I'm not sure. It's just a fun fact.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I didn't know that. And so, with your own journey to becoming a symphonic metal gothic vocalist, and I know actually I have obviously worked with you before, Ruth, so I know a bit more about your background. But of course, for our listeners, can you give us a little bit of an overview of how you got to where you are today when it comes to your songwriting?
Yeah, well, my first song I wrote back in 2015, and I was taking singing lessons from a singer-songwriter who, well, changed genres, but at that time wrote just like, yeah, easy listening, indie kind of music. So totally different than what I do. But I just asked her, can you help me write a song? I really want to try it. And well, that's what we did. So we spent some singing lessons on songwriting, and that's how Destruction was born, my first little song baby. um, and well, from there on, I just started writing on my own at first, and then, well, I guess 3 years ago, I really started working as a songwriter, I guess, because before I had all those limiting beliefs and struggles. We can maybe talk about that later if you want to, but during the first round of Radical Songwriting Academy, I've learned so much and gained so much confidence that I just write. Well, I can write a song a day. I don't do it every day, but well, it's possible if I want to. Yeah, so I just write a lot, more than I can produce. But yeah, that's okay. So you can produce the best songs and learn on a journey. I love learning. I before I start, I didn't have any knowledge of music theory or didn't play piano, didn't play guitar, didn't play any instrument, only my voice. And well, I just started, and well, this is where I am today, being a songwriter.
I
Yeah.
love it. And I also really like how open you are about the fact that you didn't come in just fully confident, I'm doing this, I'm a songwriter. That for you, like you just mentioned, there was a little bit of fear in there, maybe to say. And when you done the first or the second, when you done the version of Radical Songwriting Academy that you were in, I remember us talking a little bit about that at the time. So now you're here 2 years later, and I'm working with you just now inside the academy again. And it feels like a completely different person.
Yeah, I've changed a lot. Well, I remember our first conversation was just to make sure that I fit into a Radical Songwriting Academy, and I said to you that, well, I'm not a musician. I can't play any instrument. Do I fit in? And I'm really happy that I decided to to get the ball rolling and join the Radical Songwriting Academy. And now, well, I even am able to explain all the theory to others. So yeah, I think I'm a kind of an expert now.
It really blows
Yeah.
my mind that that was our first conversation where you were essentially looking a bit for permission and to just like, is this going to work with where I am at? And I'm like, what did I say to you before we properly started recording? Like I literally said, I refer to you as one of my star students. So I think that's incredible. And I also think it goes to show for people listening too that our opinion and image of ourselves and where we're at isn't always actually the reality, right?
Absolutely. And well, it didn't just happen overnight. It wasn't like I thought I wasn't a songwriter and now I think I am. I had, well, I have highs and lows, and worked really hard to be at the stage where I am right now. So it's not like you did do this and and everything goes away. But yeah, you can change and you can grow and you can develop yourself, and I really love it.
Yeah, it's a journey, it's a process,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
practice, isn't it? It's a lifelong practice of developing. And what would you put it down to? Like, if someone was to ask you, how did you get from there to here? What did that process look like? What kind of things were you doing? Do you have some insight you can share with us about your particular journey to going from needing that permission to now standing here and being like, yep, I'm a songwriter. This is what I do. I do it often. I've got multiple projects. I'm releasing music, all of this good stuff.
One of the things I did was just write as much as I can, go through the modules, repeat them, go back to something I didn't understand and try to grab it. I went to the academy, I think, like 4 or 5 times in the first round. So yeah, studied hard, experiment, try to do all the exercises. Don't give up. Well, sometimes if it's difficult or if you don't know, then it's just hard to continue. But you have to, well, say to yourself, just go on, you will get there. And I think that's one of the key things to success. Just keep trying. And also, during Radical Songwriting Academy, you have those mentoring sessions where you can ask questions. And if you don't understand, you just, well, get a nice tip or trick or just something that you can go, yeah, back to your piano and back to rehearsing, back to experimenting. So that's great. And besides that, I also worked with a mental coach to overcome my limiting beliefs, because they were like, well, they started when I was a kid. Uh, and yeah, I have really, well, I have worked hard to just, yeah, overcome those. Sometimes they're back, but I know what to do now. So it's just experimenting, doing your stuff, going back to the course, do it again, and write as much as you can, because every new song you write is a new opportunity to grow.
That is going to be the introduction to this episode, that little soundbite.
I go back to my strengths when I'm frustrated. So I recently found out that I am really good at one form of improvisation. Just look at an object on the wall or a tree or a photo or whatever and just sing. Describe the picture, describe the tree, describe the photo, describe the pencil in your desk or whatever. I just be able to, well, look at it and sing about it. And then my mind and my creativity start, uh, yeah, starts rolling, and from there I can continue. So I go back to the things I can do best, which is singing about an object in a room, or, well, lyric writing is, I think, one of my strengths. So when I'm working on my melody or on my chords, I just go back to the lyrics or write another song in between and then go back to my chords again.
How did you find out that you were really good at that particular type of improv?
Last year I took improv lessons because I felt that if I can improvise, I'm totally free or so. It was like, yeah, for me it was like the idea of freedom. And the teacher let me improv on, well, just sing a note, or he played something and just sing something. And I found that really hard until he said, maybe you can describe an object, or maybe what? No, it wasn't that way. We were walking down the street, and I just sang about, well, someone, someone or something I saw, and he said that's improvisation as well, and I didn't even realize that I was doing that. So from there, we started improvising with lyrics, and that's how I find out that I'm really good at this.
What a great skill to have as a songwriter.
Absolutely.
Because all you need to do is look at something, open your mouth, and material literally flows out. And I feel many people, many songwriters, they're looking for the hard way, but sometimes it can be really easy. And do you ever feel like it can't be this easy?
Yeah, absolutely. But it is. Well, not all the songs come up with when looking at a bottle or at a pencil or at a tree, but some do.
Exactly. Some do, and that's okay. In fact,
Yeah.
it's like this beautiful gift. I love it. I love it. And so, what I'm hearing from you is a songwriter, you're a songwriter who's really active in the pursuit of becoming a better songwriter and understanding yourself in that process. Where are you right now when it comes to your activities around your songwriting? So you're, of course, you're in Radical Songwriting Academy, as we mentioned. I know we've spoke about it quite a lot. It's not an ad for the academy, but I appreciate it when you talk about it. It's great. But I do know that you've got quite a lot of projects on the go. So can you tell us what they are and how do you manage it all?
I'm working on my first EP called Astra Obscura. That's Latin for Dark Stars. And it's an EP about, well, being who you are as you are and believing in yourself. I do believe that everyone has what it takes to continue, to see the light. Even if you're, well, suffering from depression, there's always a way out. And that's what that EP is about. We are, well, on fire finishing our songs. It took a while, but yeah, we are really getting it together, so that's great. It will be a 5-song EP. And besides that, I'm also writing for a 4-song EP on elements. So every song is an element, like fire, earth, air, and water. And I'm working on that during this round of Radical Songwriting Academy. And I'm also working together with Mystique, a progressive metal band from Holland. And I'm doing vocals for his project. So that's another thing. I'm writing a lot for my other project so that after the summer I can add new stuff to my set list. For that project, I only perform live, so no releases. Yeah, and I'm working as a vocalist as well and as a vocal coach. So there's a lot going on. And beside that, I also have a day job. Yeah.
Wow. And I have a day job that's
Yeah.
like, 35 hours a week or something, and you're doing that all around. And so, yeah, how do you manage that? Do you have your projects in order of priority? What does it look like when you sit down to organize your week, your month, with all this stuff going on?
Well, I love Trello to organize whatever I'm doing. And I know which cards are active, and I have prioritized them so that I know what I have to do first, and I add dates when I want to finish. Trello is like a project management tool. It's online and free to use, so yeah, really easy to me and maybe to other songwriters as well, or just for your day job or your family or whatever. And I usually, every Sunday, I take like a half an hour, maybe, sometimes even more, to just see what I have to do that for that week, what I've planned, what I want to work on. I have some projects with deadlines, or the producer who wants to have some feedback or a vocal guide. And I do have projects that I just can pick up when I have the time. So I try to prioritize with that in mind. And yeah, I I do work a lot. I know, but when it gives me energy, I'm like, well, the sky's the limit. So I really manage my energy. If I'm tired, I go to bed, even if I've planned something. I just really take care of my body, my physics, and mental health. And by doing so, I have all the energy in the world to do what I love. And because I only do things that I love, I can do a lot. Yeah.
That's such a fantastic point that you've hit on. When I take care of me first, then I get to do the things I love instead of I have to do these things. And if I don't do them, that there's some kind of failure type consequence. It's you flipped it. It's not I will rest when I've done it. It's I'm going to rest. And because I'm rested, I get to do all of this cool stuff. That's such a huge shift to have for many people, because a lot of us were taught the opposite, right? Like you got to work so hard, it doesn't matter if you're tired, you know, the blood, sweat and tears. The way you're coming at it is very radical for sure, and it's that idea of radical self-compassion and self-love, self-care, which really should be ultimate, just basic, but the society that we're in, it doesn't support that for many people. Have you found that you've had to overcome certain things in order to actually do things the way you do? Or has this just been a part of how you usually approach life?
It has become part of who I approach life, but it wasn't at first. And for me, it changed during COVID times. Um, During that period, I realized that I was, yeah, not fit. I thought I didn't fit into this world. I have autism and I get, well, overwhelmed often and really soon. And during COVID, I could work from home and could do what I love. And that was the first moment I realized that people can actually do things beside work, that they can have a hobby, that they can have time off or time for themselves. And before COVID, I, well, didn't have that many moments, because when I came back from work, I just fell down on my couch. um, so COVID changed a lot. Well, for everyone, and it was hard. But at the same time, for me, it was it was great because I truly I found out who I truly am and what I love and how to manage that. And that was when I realized that you have to do put yourself on number one and listen to your body and to your mind, and put all the things you love number two. And there are yeah, you have to do stuff that you don't like well, I'm not really into doing the dishes and all that housekeeping stuff, but you have to do it, of course. You have to take care of the people, yeah, of yourself, of your co-workers, of, yeah, of the world. That's huge though, but yeah, so maybe learned the hard way, but now this is my approach and who I am. Yeah.
I know I didn't ask you to prepare a song, so I'm just doing it in the moment and I'm going to put it on the sheet for any future guests.
Okay.
But actually, now that we're sitting through it, I was like, we, of course, we're going to want to hear your music after that lovely interview. So tell us where we can find your music and introduce the song.
Yeah, well, you can find my music on Spotify. It's just my name, Ruth Bootsma, or Ruth in English. And I'm on Instagram as well, and on Facebook, of course, chatting in English, so available to everyone. And my music is also on my internet page, webpage, ruthbootsmamusic.com. The song you're about to hear is called Delight, and I wrote it for a person that's really close to me who suffered from PTSD. And she got treatment, and at some point we talked about, well, getting back to normal life. But, well, that's not so easy as it sounds, because she struggled a lot with how to get back to normal life, seeing people dining together or so, and how to get back in. And it's also about what I've shared before, that you are strong enough to continue, and that you can also ask for help to finding the light back. So it's called The Light, and it's about your inner light.
That's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for being on the podcast, Ruth. I hope everyone enjoys the light, and I will see you probably really soon inside the Academy. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Ruth. It's been wonderful chatting.
Thank you.
I walk through the forest, I sit on a fallen tree, wonder about what I see. A little land, a wooden bench, different colors within, a sun and shadowing. And then it starts to rain. I'm feeling blinded by the clouds above my head. I'm feeling frozen, 'cause I'm standing here alone. The clouds are crying, the tears I hide. I'm falling, please bring me back the light. They're sharing their dinner in a cozy, luxurious place, laughing and talking, no time or space. We see each other again tomorrow, maybe. I wish that I was there. And then it starts to rain. I'm feeling blinded by the clouds above my head. I'm feeling frozen, 'cause I'm standing here alone. The clouds are crying, the tears I hide. I'm falling, please bring me back the light. I'm feeling blinded by the clouds above my head. I'm feeling frozen, 'cause I'm standing here alone. The clouds are crying, the tears I hide. I'm falling, please bring me back the light. I have to change. I don't want this no more. Couldn't rely on myself. I was crying for help. I tried it all. So whatever it takes, I will do anything. I will change. I will change. I'm feeling blinded by the clouds above my head. I'm feeling frozen, 'cause I'm standing here alone. The clouds are crying, the tears I hide. I'm falling, please bring me back